Good morning, scholars. Today is Friday, April 24th, 2020. All right, scholars, in our math, we have been focusing on our ways to solve word problems. We're using our 4 steps. We know that we have some regrouping that's going to be happening in that today. We also have been working on arrays in our Swan Map, so we're going to take a look at some of those today. Let's start with our problem of the day today. All right, Sally collected, Miss Moseley forgot. What are our steps? Job number 1, we got to read the problem, not just read it to read the words, but to understand what our job actually is. Here we go. Sally collected 52 seashells at the beach. Tim collected 36 seashells. What is the difference in the number of seashells they collected? Okay, we did job number 1. We read it. What's job number 2? You got it. We have to find the key words and numbers. All right, let's do it. Our key words and numbers. Well, what key words and numbers do you see? I see the keyword 52, or the key number, and I see the key number 36. And then I see a job I have to do. I have to find out what is the difference in the number of seashells they collected. Well, I know that keyword difference tells me that I have to be subtracting. Difference means subtracting. So I'm going to take my 2 numbers, 52. What's step 3, guys? Write our equation. Now that we have our key words and numbers, we can make an equation out of this. So we're going to write our 52. We know that difference tells us we're subtracting. So 52 minus 36. And we know that's going to give us the difference. So that's our job, to find the difference. Okay, let's do our place value chart. In our place value chart, we're going to draw our 52. So 52. 2 ones, 5 tens, and then now let's subtract. Can we subtract 6 ones from 2? No, so what do we have to do? Regroup. All right, let's do it. So let's take one of our tens and let's turn it into ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now can we do our job? Yes, we can. So we will subtract 6 ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's see what we're left with. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones, so let's go ahead and circle those up, but that's our difference. We have the difference of 6 ones, and then now we can subtract our 3 tens. 1, 2, 3. Don't forget, we already turned that 10 into 1, so we can't use it anymore. That tells us we only have 1 more 10. So what's our difference? 16. So when we box in our difference, we can go ahead and put it in over here. And I know that I have solved my equation. I have done my job. What is the difference in the number of seashells they collected? The difference is 16. All right, scholars, in our Swan math work, we've been working with arrays. So what exactly is an array? Remember, an array is a group of objects in rows and columns. So today we're going to be thinking about how we create those different rows and columns. I have a couple of examples that I want us to look at together. Let's start with the first one. In this one, it says we're going to create 2 rows, but 4 columns. But I'm going to focus on the rows. Even though I know I have columns that I'll be creating too, I'm going to just focus on those rows. Remember, rows go from side to side. So when I start with 2 rows, I'm going to just be drawing those 2 dots. Now it tells me I have 4 columns, so that means I know that I'm going to have 4 dots in each of my rows. So if I know that I have 2 rows, but 4 columns, I will have 4 dots or circles in each row. So now I've created my array. I have an array that has 2 rows and 4 columns in each row. So when I'm answering my question, there are blank rows with blank circles in each row. What will I put there? Well, I know that there are 2 rows, and how many circles are in each row? I have 1, 2, 3, 4 circles in each row. So I will write 4 circles in each row. Now, when I'm creating an equation, because I have 4 circles in each row, I will say 4 plus 4. And what does 4 plus 4 equal, scholars? You got it, it's 8. So you can see here, because I'm working with my rows, those go from side to side. So I will circle up my 4 in each row, and I will have 4 plus 4, and that equals the total or the sum of 8. Now let's try this next one. Instead of working with our rows today, or for our second example, we're going to look at how it would look if we look at our columns. So in this one, it says we have 5 columns. Remember, columns go down. So when we think about our columns, we have to start them going. We have to make them going down. So I want 5 of them. So I'm going to create the starts of my 5 columns. Okay, so I have 5 starts of my columns, because remember, my columns have to go up and down. So columns go this way. So there's my 5 starts. Now, how many do I want in each column? Well, there's going to be 5 rows. So let's do that. 1, 2, oh, I already had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now do you see there's 5 in each of my columns, which also tells me I will have 5 rows. So I'll have 5 in each column. So let me go finish drawing those 5 in each column. All right, scholars, now I want to fill in the blanks here. There are how many columns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. And how many circles are in each column? 5. So I know I can say there are 5 columns with 5 circles in each column. Now, if I want to write an equation for it, I'm going to just take a look at what I have in my columns. I'm going to create my equations based on these 5 columns that I have. So how many circles did we say were in each column? We said there are 5 circles in each column. So when we write an equation, we would say 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, and there's one last column, so we'll do another 5. And that will give us the sum of, let's count them up, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That will give us the sum of 25. Let's take a look at what that's going to look like in your page today. In your page today, you're going to see what I just showed you. You're going to see that you are going to be drawing an array. It's going to tell you how many rows and how many columns. It says count each row to find the sum. So that means we're going to focus on rows right now. So if we're focusing on rows, remember we're creating our 3 rows. Rows go from side to side. So I'm going to create 1, 2, 3 rows. And now there's 4 columns, so my columns, I'm going to make 4 in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now each row will have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I've created my rows. Remember, my rows go from side to side. Rows always go from side to side. So it's helping us because they're putting the word row right here on the side to show us we're going to go from side to side. Now I can fill in my sentence. There are 3 rows with 4 circles in each row. Now remember here, it's showing us our equation. How many are in each row? There are, 4. There are 4 in each row. So I'll say 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals, and I know that 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals 12. So my total, or my sum, is 12. You're going to be continuing that with 4 problems. In number 2, it tells you to draw the array that has 2 rows and 5 columns. Count each column. So remember, columns go up and down. So in this case, you're going to be going up and down. You'll create your rows and your columns, and you can circle those up to see how many circles are in each column. In number 3, you're going to draw an array with 3 rows and 2 columns. In number 4, you'll draw an array with 4 rows and 4 columns. And that's our math work for today. So have a great day of learning, and I will see you again soon.